I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to yet another player review. And today we have, well, two, but obviously the first one is going to be Alexis Sanchez, 92 rated, could potentially go up to a 93 or a 95 depending on the result between Inter and Napoli. Not quite sure when that game is played. I'm assuming like 5 days time, which obviously means that they're going to get their upgrades after Summer Heat has finished. I'm so interested to find out what is going to happen after Summer Heat. I'm nervous, I really am. 89 rated Alexis Sanchez came out, I can't remember when, but a while back now as a flashback, and I think it was a little bit expensive at the time. That card came out and he was valued at around 150k, which a lot of people were on the fence of. It was the 17th of January, and a lot of people were on the fence because an 89 rated card at the time was like on the verge of what you kind of want. You just wanted it to be a little bit better. Don't know whether EA had Summer Heat in mind then. Probably not, because I think Summer Heat has come around basically because of all the stuff that's happened in the world. Obviously, we were going through the Euros, or we would have been going through the Euros. So up from a 89 to a 92. It's a decent upgrade. I mean, it's nothing to like scream about, but it's gone up more than what you'd think EA would have boosted, right? So from an 89 to a 92, normally they would have done maybe 2 or 3 points here or there. They've done 5 in most places. Pace, shooting, passing, and dribbling. 6 in physical, which is nice to see, and then 2 in defending. So you've got your upgrades where you want them. 4-star, 4-star. High work rates is not ideal. You don't really want a high defensive work rate on a striker. I think you pretty much know that by now. Short and lean body type is decent, 5'7", which is quite nice. Right-footed as well, which is, you know, down to personal preference more than anything. I don't really mind which foot they are. And then, of course, 95 acceleration, 90 sprint speed. We move over to the shooting. The finishing itself for a striker, you'd think, would be the highest stat. In terms of Alexis Sanchez, it's one of the lowest, and that is 89. Now, that still isn't too low. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not really anything to be concerned about because a chem style will fix that immediately. Whether you believe in them or not, it will help. It really will. We have 97 shot power, not short power. That doesn't make any sense. 90 long shots and 97 volleys. I wouldn't worry too much about penalties. You've got 91 free kicks, if that tickles your fancy. And then, of course, you've got 92 vision, only the 88 short passing. So you're saying to me that he doesn't have great finishing or great short passing. Well, that's where the Deadeye comes in, and we fix both of them. And now, all of a sudden, he's a 96 rated cam if you want to use him there. Gets a soft link to Mertens, of course, which is one of the best cards in the game, the 95 flashback Mertens. They're both very similar players as well in terms of height. However, Alexis Sanchez will blow Mertens out of the water when you have a look at his strength. 87 strength and 93 aggression on Alexis Sanchez. This is an angry little fella, and he is more than willing to throw his weight around. He's got really good dribbling stats as well. 98 agility, 99 balance, and you've got 96 ball control, 97 dribbling. 90 composure and reactions, which in my opinion is fine, especially when you've got a player this quick and this agile. You shouldn't have to worry too much about the reactions and the composure, so just don't. That's my advice. In terms of traits, unfortunately, he's only got injury prone, which means he's going to be on the floor a lot, and then flair, which in my experience doesn't really do anything. If you hold LT or L2 and you press pass, he'll be a little bit more flamboyant with his passes. That's literally my experience with it. I don't know whether it really helps with skill moves or anything like that, but just I've never noticed it, so I'm going to go with no. So all in all, just from looking at the face value of things, with a Deadeye, you've got a 96 rated cam or a 94 rated striker. I don't know if there's a way to make him higher. You can get a 95 rated striker with a marksman. You can... No, so that's pretty much it, really. So what does marksman do? Marksman will boost his ball control, dribbling, and reactions, as well as refine that strength and aggression, and then give him 99 for basically everything in the shooting department, apart from penalties, which goes up to 92. So, I mean, that's not a terrible chem style. Marksman's not a bad idea. But in my opinion, a Deadeye is probably better for him because you've got high enough dribbling and ball control. Does 5 reactions make a difference? Like I said, not in my opinion. And then, of course, 87 strength and 93 aggression should be enough. There's only so much he's going to be able to do against the taller defenders anyway, because that's the way FIFA works. The shorter players, even if they have 99 strength and aggression, they'll always, well, not always, but they will tend to sort of lose out their fair share to taller defenders who don't necessarily have great strength and aggression just because they're taller, and that's the way this game works. But obviously it won't hurt, so if you do decide to put a marksman on him, let me know in the comments what you think of it, and do you think maybe that you lost out a little bit through the passing? Because, you know, before I started doing this review, and even now, to be honest, I'm not sure where his best position is. I liked playing him as a striker because he gets involved, he gets goals, you can see evidence of that on screen, he scores goals for fun almost, and against some decent defenders and goalkeepers as well. Like some of the players I was playing last night, they were really, really good. They were on their game as well, and it's not that I'm not on my game recently, it's just that, I don't know, I tend to sort of not care about the results. So if I'm losing like 4-0 or something, it's just all about getting a goal, and I won't necessarily play to the best of my ability recently. Like I'm not trying to win, I'm just trying to feel out the player. Normally I'll just play and see if I can, you know, I'll just play, and if I get clips, I get clips. But lately I've been trying to sort of try out the players more than what I normally would. It's costing me games, it's costing me goals, but, you know, at the end of the day, it sort of gives me a better understanding of what I can expect from the player. And what I can expect from Alexis Sanchez is a player who is very capable in both the striker and the cam position. I wouldn't be too happy about playing him as a winger. That's not something that I think I'd be too interested in. But playing him as a striker or a cam is definitely up my alley. Now, as a cam, with that Deadeye, you've got a player who is very, very capable indeed of playing a nice threaded ball. 99 vision, 98 short passing. Now, of course, it's gone up by 10. So don't be afraid to put him in at cam. He's got the agility, he's got the mobility, and he is more than capable of playing there. As a striker, did I feel like the natural finishing was a problem? I mean, I wouldn't say, no more so than any other player, really. Like, sometimes you'll go in for an effort and you'll take a shot, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't go in. And there's not really any explanation as to why it doesn't go in. It just, keeper saves it, it goes wide. Is it down to composure? Is it down to the shot that I took? Is it down to the finishing of the card? Who knows? It could be the gameplay, it could be anything. So you got to take it with a pinch of salt. His finishing, for the most part, though, was pretty solid. I wouldn't say it's the best I've ever used. It's not a Summer Heat Belotti. That's by no means true. But either way, I would say that you've got a capable striker. I think my favoured position, though, is probably going to be cam, just because you know when he gets into the position you've been able to score, he can put it away. He's more than capable of threading a pass now that we've boosted the short passing up by 10. He had decent vision anyway, but now he's got even better vision. If he does find himself on the wide left, wide right, he can put a good cross into the box. He's agile, he's got the skills. To be honest, there's not really an awful lot in the way of negative to talk about. When I looked at the card and I saw that he was an 85 rated team, you know, 100k, I was very happy about that. It's a bargain price to pay for a player like this. He kind of reminds me a little bit, not to a like massive extent, but the Summer Heat Frank Ribery that came out was very well rounded. And of course, you know, Frank Ribery is definitely better, 100%. But Frank Ribery is higher rated. Alexis Sanchez could go to a 95, and that's something that you've got to take into consideration as well. If you can't afford to do both Callahan or Sanchez, or maybe you just prefer Sanchez, so you've done him instead, obviously you need to hope, and that's the risk that you take, that he goes to a 95. If he does go to a 95, I have every belief that this card is going to be magnificent, because it is already a really good card. He's capable of playing two different positions. If he gets a 95, everything is going to go up by at least 3, if not maybe 4 or 5 in certain areas. So he'll go up to over 90 stamina, over 90 strength. He should have sort of low to mid 90s sprint speed. His acceleration will probably go to 99. His finishing will then be in the 90s, so any element of him missing efforts and is it the card, is it me, is it this, is it that, will have been gone. It's no longer the card. You can rule that out. Now you have to blame yourself, basically, although I'm sure most of you will still blame the game. Long shots is obviously going to go up as well. Short passing will be in the 90s. Any sort of element or flicker of sort of, oh, I wish this was high, I wish that was high, it will be. Even if he goes to a 93, the finishing will still go into the 90s. The short passing will still go into the 90s. So you're going to have a really good card if this gets upgraded. Same goes for Callahan as well, and we'll talk about that in the review later on today. Maybe it went out earlier. I'm not sure what time I'm going to do them. I'm doing them both at the same time because they fit in the same team. But, yeah, either way, I would say that whichever one of these cards gets upgraded, you're going to have a fantastic upgrade. I just really hope that it's Alexis Sanchez, because then he's going to be on par with the likes of Frank Ribery, and that card is fantastic. And of course, because he plays for Fiorentina, links with Alexis Sanchez. So what's not to like about that? Look at that front three though. Callahan, Sanchez and Frank Ribery. If both of them go to like a 93, I mean, wow, you're in for an absolute treat there. Anyway, if you have enjoyed today's review, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.